Every 4 years, the good people of the United States elect their president. Yes, that's the beauty of democracy. The ability of the ordinary folks to determine the big guy who leads them, the self-proclaimed leader of the free world and the poster boy of the government of the majority. Sorry, if you are not in the majority, you have to sulk for the next 4 years. But hold up, you don't need to be in the majority to elect the president of the United States. Is that not strange? The leader of the free world is not elected by the majority of his people. Alas, that's the fact. The majority of lawful votes cast in an election do not elect the president of the United States. Instead, the Electoral College elects the president of the United States. This brings the question of what exactly is an Electoral College and why it is more important than popular votes. I know what you are thinking. You're probably asking yourself whether it is a regular college or an Ivy League college. How can one gain admission into this special college? How much is the tuition? No, you got it all wrong. Electoral College is simply an indirect voting system used in the United States to elect the president and vice president, meaning voters don't directly elect the president. Instead, they vote for a slate of electors who then cast votes to decide the president and vice president. These slates of electors are called the Electoral College. Let us further simplify this. Each of the 50 states of the USA has a certain number of electors, which is principally determined by state population. For example, California, with a population of about 39 million inhabitants, has 54 electoral votes, while Alaska, with a population of about 733,583 inhabitants, is allocated 3 electoral votes. This means that California's entire popular vote is summed into 54 electoral votes. So, when you go to the poll, you are simply selecting the candidate who will reap the electoral juice assigned to your state. In total, there are 538 electoral votes allocated amongst the states. To win the presidency, a candidate for the office of President of the United States of America must win a majority of the electoral votes, at least 270 out of 538 electoral votes. It is immaterial if he or she wins the popular vote. Without the majority of the Electoral College votes, he or she is not going anywhere near the White House. Flashback to 2016, when Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. Donald Trump danced to the White House on the back of his Electoral College victory. It will surprise you that this has happened on 4 other occasions. In year 2000, then U.S. Vice President Al Gore won the popular vote but lost the Electoral College vote to then Governor Bush by 5 electoral votes. The entire election came down to Florida, which then Governor Bush won Florida by 537 votes, a margin of 0.009%, so close but so far. In 1888, the incumbent President Grover Cleveland lost the election to Benjamin Harrison despite winning the popular vote. Also, in 1824 and 1876, both Andrew Jackson and Samuel J. Tilden lost their respective elections despite winning the popular votes. So, how does a candidate win an electoral college vote? Both states use a winner-take-all system, meaning whichever candidate gets the popular votes in a state wins all of that state's electoral votes. For example, if a candidate wins 50.001% of the vote in Florida, he or she receives all 30 of Florida's electoral votes. Only Maine and Nebraska use a proportional system, where electoral votes can be split between candidates based on how each congressional district votes. What then happens if no candidate reaches 270 electoral votes? At this point, the House of Representatives breaks the stalemate by choosing the president from among the top 3 candidates, with each state delegation having 1 vote. So why was this system adopted instead of the otherwise straightforward election by popular votes? The answer is not far-fetched. In a direct popular vote contest, the big and highly populated states will swallow up the tiny votes coming from the smaller states. For example, California's over 39 million votes will obliterate that of Alaska, which is less than 1 million. Electoral College therefore serves as a leveler to protect the minority from the majority. The framers of the Constitution were concerned about the tyranny of the majority in a direct democracy. The Electoral College was designed to prevent densely populated urban areas from having undue influence over the election, ensuring that rural and smaller states still have a voice in the outcome. For instance, New Hampshire's 4 electoral votes may be the difference between dancing to the White House or sulking for the next 4 years. Putting this into perspective, had Al Gore won the 4 electoral votes in New Hampshire, he might have won the presidency with 270 electoral votes. So look at the brighter side. Every state matters. The Electoral College is indeed a leveler.